In 2004, I was extremely worried at the plans to set up an agency called Frontex, which would be mainly staffed with people drawn from the Greek Coast Guard, particularly because the Greek Coast Guard had been instrumental in covering up, or indeed presiding over, the torture of a number of people, including my partner, in Crete in 2001. This case eventually came to court, through the European Court as well as through the Greek courts, and the Greek authorities were found to be failing, and the various people who had been involved in the torture were found guilty. The Greek law was supposed to be changed, and nothing, in fact, has changed, and more than that, Frontex has developed and has continued to abuse migrants coming to Greece. Now, the problem here is that the Greek initiative is one of the inspirations for Priti Patel. And one of the particular features of this Greek initiative is a thing which is technically illegal and is called pushbacks. It's part of the hostile environment. There were serious incidents over the last nearly 20 years involving these pushbacks. The most important probably was in a place called Pharmakonsi, and that led to the death of 8 women and 3 children. But Frontex, which was formed officially in 2006, and then it's been buttressed by a thing called Operation Poseidon, which involves aircraft searching the sea and drones searching the sea, quote, to save lives, but almost certainly to identify those boats that can be pushed back. It costs 754 million euros a year. And in the last couple of years, since 2020, 540 incidents have officially been registered of pushback. And these incidents include collective expulsion, torture, disappearance, even allegations of murder. There have been 218 serious incidents reported to the European Parliament, and nothing really has happened. Agencies, charities that monitor the sea have reported in increasing urgency things like alarm phone, 62 cases of brutal attacks and pushback since 2020. Forensic Architecture, an organisation based here in London, in one of the London colleges, 1,000 cases since 2020. Doctors Without Borders records incidents of migrants arriving on the island of Lesbos, handcuffed and bruised. It's one thing after another. Now, if this is the inspiration of the former Home Secretary, if this is the inspiration of Priti Patel, and if, as we know, Suella Braverman dreams of human misery and tries to outdo Priti Patel's aggression, then we are in for a very, very dangerous time where we are treading on the edge of international legality. And we are following an example which I know from personal experience is horrendous. This is not humanity. This is not justice. And this is clearly not hospitality. The Greeks have a word for hospitality, which they're very proud of saying that it does not translate. It's called philoxenia. But I don't think that that is being expressed in the policy of pushback. What is being expressed in the policy of pushback is oppression and hatred. And we have already had our own incidents of pushback, which was demonstrated the other day in a court case. Now, we can fight, we can argue the toss, but the real problem is people were caught midway through the Channel crossing between France and Britain, and they died. They died because France was saying they were not in its waters and Britain was saying they were not in theirs. Somebody has to take responsibility. Somebody has to bite this bullet and deal with this problem. I think the problem is best dealt with by putting agencies and visa application centres in France, in Albania, on the edge of Europe, along the way, in Libya. I think it's best dealt with by not outsourcing visa application centres to places that are inaccessible and in places where the visa application centres have closed. We should be locating these visa application centres in places that are easily accessible, not only so that it allows people to apply legally for a safe transit to the UK and there to do whatever you want to do, but so that it also puts forward the basic idea that coming to the UK is not an easy ride, and that it may not be the best and only option for somebody who is struggling with life in their own country. There may be other options available. We need to source these, we need to find out what they are, and we need to get that message out. Certainly giving lots of money to the French to do the job that is the French job is nonsensical. We should be using that money elsewhere. I suggest we should be using it in Albania to start with. If we're going to stand at the dispatch box, if Suella Braverman is going to stand at the dispatch box in our name, thump the dispatch box and make racist statements about an invasion, our money should be sent to Albania to help staunch that flow of Albanian migrants at source, if that's what we think we should be doing. But we should stop this othering and put our money where our mouth is.